The following is an example of how I would do comments in this paper one draft called Meditation for the Mind. So before you start making comments, you would really want to read the whole essay to get the big picture. And in this case, it is a 430 word draft called Meditation for the Mind. After reading the document, you'll next want to look at the paper grading rubric. And in this case, there are 5 components. The thesis and research study. Remember, you had to find a research study that corroborated what your thesis was. The next component is the audience purpose and development, uses of sources and evidence, organization and fluency, and finally format, grammar, spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. So you'll take a real good look at the proficiency levels in each of these categories. And then as you work through the document, you might want to use the language used in the rubric in your comments on the paper. So we're going to go and look at these 5 components right now. So I'm going to begin at the beginning, probably looking at the thesis first, because that I'm expecting that in the first paragraph. But I do want to begin with some good news, and the good news is that the students, well, the last name of the student and the page number is up there, and this heading is looking good. The student's name should be here with the instructor's name. Composition 2, probably both wouldn't be needed. So what I'm going to do is hit review and new comment, and I'm going to actually highlight that new comment, and I'll write something like use 2 or 1102. The next thing I'd be looking at, the date looks a little strange, so I probably would want to make a comment is use January 27th, 2011. I'm looking at the title, and this is good news. It doesn't have a quotation marks around it, which it shouldn't have. The alliteration is nice. I'm going to say something nice, alliteration. And Meditation for the Mind gives me an idea of what the essay is going to be about. I'm looking for some grabber of an intro, a real lead-in. Meditation is new, no new arising craze that suddenly become the new pink. In fact, meditation dates back centuries ago to the time of Buddha, an influential meditation icon. We do have some grammar issues here with a comma splice, which, not a comma splice, but a run-on. So I'm going to sort of mention that it would need period after pink, and reword the first sentence as it is awkward, like the expression the new pink. Well, now we get into a little history, and I think this is getting at the thesis that meditation can reduce symptoms of anxiety, panic attack, and cope with pain and depression. So I'm wondering why there's the extra detail here. So I'll probably say something like move the thesis to end of first paragraph. And here we're getting to some cures, which I'm not sure is appropriate here. So I think the whole first paragraph needs some tightening up. Now we're getting into a bit of a problem, because what I'm expecting now is that the working thesis, or the proposition, will be sort of explained in some way. We're getting a little bit too historical here, a way of life. I probably, considering the reader, probably this information is already known, and the thesis is not being developed. What I'm looking for is perhaps reason number one, should be addressed in this paragraph. And I'm getting a lot of history here. I understand that there's sort of a definition here, and that kind of information would probably be better to state this in the intro. Paragraph. Where I'm expecting here to have sort of explanation of another reason why meditation reduces anxiety and depression. And I'm just getting lots of information rather than development of a second reason. Also, the writer needs to work on transitions here. All right, now we're getting to here. I noticed a study, and this is sort of your first support, really, or evidence that corroborates what your thesis says. So the study probably needs to be introduced.
Honey, you paying attention to the
yeah, before the for all this informative stuff. Well, now I'm at the end of the paper, and I'm a little bit surprised that everything is wrapping up so quickly. I really feel like the writer hasn't worked out or developed any of the reasons why meditation. The other question I have is, there are so many different kinds of meditation. I would have liked some more specificity in determining what kind of meditation that this works on with people with anxiety and panic disorders and depression. So this, to me, looks like a summary, and what you probably wouldn't want to do, or the writer shouldn't be doing, is not providing sort of a proposals or solutions for how physicians should treat people. Remember, you're just defending your thesis statement. You're not providing any, it's not a problem solution type of paper. So for me, the summary is not needed so much as taking the reader to the point where she or he is persuaded by the argument. There is some informative material, but I don't see any clear purpose and development of the argument. And now we can look at the use of sources, and what is cool about this is the in-text citations are done well. So good in-text citations. And probably in here it's the works cited is good, but it should be works cited. Whoops, it's not so coded. And this is nicely formatted. Format is nice. And I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. So there should be 4 in-text citations. So I've got 1 up there. I've got 2, 3. And where's the, and here's the Buddhist 2 again. So Buddhist 2, Borison. Here's the Borison one. So there are the 4 ones in the Sri Khan. So they're all there. Buddhist religion, I'm looking where that is cited, Buddhist religion, and I'm not finding that. So that seems to be a problem. For every source you cite in the work cited, there should be an in-text citation. So this is where I would probably tell the reader that I can't find your in-text citation here. So going back to the grading rubric, there are problems with the thesis. The research study could probably be expanded. Uses of sources could be better integrated into paper, and the big problem is the paper needs development. according to the a list of reasons for the thesis. So there needs to be more clarity in the development of the thesis. That meditation reduces panic attacks, anxiety, and depression. So I just add that little note at the end and just probably highlight it for the reader. So leads is a lot of work, but everyone needs to remember that drafts are always shitty. If you look at Anne Lamont's shitty first drafts, so there is a very interesting topic to be developed in a lot of information that you can really educate your audience on, but more than educate, more than inform, persuade. So that's about it for peer editing a draft, and good luck on your own.